Hello and welcome back to Take Action Tuesday. This is a weekly video where I give you actionable steps to increase your AAC skills. I am Lauren and I am a speech therapist with over 10 years of experience with AAC. One of the number one concerns I often see is that people just don't have the time to really invest and learn AAC. And today we are going to talk a little bit about that and see what we can do about it. So let's dive in. Okay, so the dreaded time. I don't know about you, but I certainly wish there were more hours in the day. And the thing about learning is that it takes time. And unfortunately, there are no ifs, ands, or buts about that. There's not shortcuts to learning new things. And we need time to learn new skills. And sometimes some skills take longer than others. And what's going to take me this amount of time to learn may take you a different amount of time to learn. So that is the unfortunate truth. However, there is some good news here because just because it takes a long time to learn something does not mean we have to wait to start. So listen, I get it. I'm a working mom with a laundry list full of things to do. And how do you just add one more in there? I get it. I really, really do. Sometimes I wonder how I manage to add one more thing in there. So here are the 4 things I want you to consider. First, we need to prioritize our time. And I think everyone knows this, but what I want you to do is I want you to get really specific. So in regards to AAC, we're going to say something like, today I'm going to learn how to program a button into this device. And then tomorrow, I'm actually going to program that button. It's okay to spread things out, but we need to prioritize it. You can't program into that button until you know how to program. So maybe your student really, really needs access to their favorite movie, and you're a little confused on how to program. You're going to go get the information on how to program, and then the next day you're going to actually try to program it. If you are one of those lovely SLPs or parents that have time to do both things in one day, more power to you. But the idea here is prioritize. And priorities typically come out of a need. So take a look at what your AAC user needs right now and prioritize that. Here's the deal. I realize most of you are sitting here going, okay, Lauren, but they need these 15 things. Okay, well, look at those 15 things and what is the most crucial that you do right now? And then what can you save for tomorrow? Or what can you save for next week? And I'm not saying what can you save for 6 years down the line. I want you to do it in a timely manner, but make it manageable for yourself. Don't feel like you have to hit that list of 15 things today or it's not going to be a success. Which leads me into my next consideration. Take one step at a time. We do not have to know everything to get started. We can learn things one day at a time. We can do things one day at a time. We can watch 15 minutes of that training this week. We can do small increments, and we do not have to be perfect to get started. And I really want that to sink in because I know a lot of us have this tendency to need it to be perfect and to know exactly what we need to do. But the reality is if we do that, we're going to continue to put things off, and they're never going to actually happen. So prioritize what can you do now, and then take it one step at a time. And then the third one is to take a step back and actually think about what you already know. So this is something I see happen with AAC all the time. People start to incorporate AAC, and all of a sudden, all the planning sessions they've ever done, all the goals they've ever written, all the activities they love kind of get thrown out. And we have this intense need to say, oh my gosh, now I have AAC, well, what do I do with it? Everything's going to be so different now. And if you are an SLP listening, you already understand language development. You understand how to enrich and support communication. These are the same skills that need to be applied to AAC users. Yes, you're going to need to learn the device, something you can prioritize. However, you can take the same activities you already know and you already love and you can just find a way to incorporate AAC into those. I know sometimes it sounds easier than it is, but I promise if you take that foundation that you already have, this whole process gets a little lighter. Parents, the same thing goes for you. You are already talking to your child all the time during the day. You're narrating it, what you're doing, you're asking questions, you're labeling things. Take those conversations that you're having with the kid and now shift them to the AAC device. I'm not saying that tomorrow you need to say every single thing you ever say to your child on the AAC device. Take it one step at a time, which leads me into my last point here. Try to do some multitasking. And before you say absolutely not, I cannot multitask, think about this multitasking. When you interact with your AAC user, you are talking with AAC. You can learn AAC at the same time. So when we have these interactions, we learn new words, we find out where things are, we troubleshoot together, we decide how to better set up that opportunity. We also find out what didn't work. We do some strategic critical thinking and say, okay, this completely failed. Why did it fail? And these mistakes that we're making, for lack of a better word, are lessons learned. And ultimately, they are saving you time outside of your interactions. You're not needing to go through tons and tons of material and readings and trainings and all of this other stuff just to know that the want button is where the want button is, because you had an interaction with your child and you found that. So I really want you to consider that you can learn and interact with your AAC user at the same time. So I would really love to know what you think. Are there any of these things that you feel like you can do, mindset shifts that you think you can make? Because time really is typically not on our side. If you are an SLP, you are likely overworked with a completely full caseload and you just don't have time for that extra learning. And if you are a parent, you are probably running around doing things all day long. I couldn't even list the things I do all day long. But here's the deal. Investing in communication is going to be one of the best things you do. And I'm going to do a whole episode on that in a few weeks, so stay tuned. So from today, I want you to switch that mindset of I do not have any time, and tell yourself that you can do this. I can do it one step at a time. I can do this today. I can prioritize my time. Pick one of those 4 ideas that we talked about and really get started. All right, before you head out, I wanted to let you know about this really great opportunity that I will be hosting in April. We are offering a free webinar. It's called Get the AAC Device Out of the Backpack, 5 questions to ask yourself and the team. All the details are below in the link. So I would love to have you come join me. So check out those notes so that you can sign up, and I will see you next week. Bye.